From Washington, this is VOA News. I'm Dave DeForest reporting the leaders of Israel and the U.S. meet in Washington. U.S. President Barack Obama and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu are trying to find ways to cope with a toughening security environment in the Middle East.
The security environment in the Middle East has deteriorated in many areas, and as I've said repeatedly, the security of Israel is one of my top foreign policy priorities.
The two leaders have often had a fractious relationship, and their meeting was the first in more than a year. 2 Americans were among those killed at a police training facility in Jordan on Monday, where were monitors with the DynCorp, a U.S.-based security and logistics firm that has a contract with the U.S. government. A U.S. State Department spokesman says 2 other American trainers were wounded in the attack. A Jordanian government official said a South African trainer and 2 Jordanians were also killed. The shooter, whom media identified as 28-year-old police captain Anwar Abu Zaid, was shot and killed. Myanmar opposition leader Aung San Suu Kyi's political party has won the first seats in what is expected to be a landslide victory in Sunday's parliamentary elections. Election officials announced Monday that the National League for Democracy had won 12 lower house seats from the city of Yangon. The United Nations top diplomat in Somalia, Nicholas K., says the country is steadily transforming from a failed state to a recovering one. Kay addressed a special session of the UN Security Council on Somalia. Kay told the council that the transformation in Somalia is well advanced. He said the country is moving away from the chaos that it has experienced for more than 2 decades. This is VOA News. Thousands of Russian tourists headed home from Egypt Monday aboard planes sent by the Russian government. The Russians had suspended all commercial flights to Egypt amid security concerns following the October 31st air crash that killed 224 people. Planes from other nations have arrived to bring their people home. The World Anti-Doping Agency has recommended the track and fields governing body suspend Russia from competition. The recommendation follows findings by the agency of a cover-up by Russia of positive blood doping tests. In a report released Monday, the agency said top Russian athletes, including track and field Olympians and winners of other prestigious events, have long participated in a systematic doping program that involves some of Russia's sports officials. Sebastian Coe is the IAAF president.
I've given the Russian Federation until the end of the week to answer those allegations and to give my council a full and comprehensive response. I've asked the council to convene on Friday, which we will, to then review that response and then look at next steps. But sanctions could follow, yes.
The report implicated athletes, coaches, trainers, doctors, and various Russian institutions, including the country's anti-doping agency and an accredited laboratory in Moscow that handled testing for the 2014 Olympics in Sochi. Russia has signed a contract to supply Iran with S-300 surface-to-air missile systems. An earlier contract was postponed in 2010 after the UN Security Council imposed sanctions on Iran. The United Nations Cultural Agency, UNESCO, narrowly rejected Kosovo's bid for membership Monday after Kosovo failed to receive the support of 2/3 of the body's member nations. The World Meteorological Organization reports greenhouse gas concentrations in the atmosphere last year hit a new high, and 2015 looks as though it'll be another record breaker. Lisa Schlein reports.
The WMO warns of a relentless rise in the greenhouse gases fueling climate change. During the past 25 years, the agency says there's been a 36% increase in the warming effect on Earth's climate. This is due principally to carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. WMO Secretary General Michel Jarraud says these long-lived gases are making the planet more dangerous and inhospitable for future generations. Lisa Schlein, Geneva.
Lawmakers in Spain's Catalonia region have approved a measure for a renewed effort to seek independence from Spain. In Washington, I'm Dave DeForest.
That's the latest world news from VOA.